There are human errors. There were bad judges.
Oh, okay.
And there were
okay. That's probably the most fair. I think that's
the
problem. Let me speak, Bonald. That's probably the most fair thing you say, because we're making it seem like you do the crime, you get this many years. It ain't that easy. Like, there's negotiations. Hey, my freaking lawyer banged the prosecutor, and that helped me out. Like, it ain't that easy.
No, but Little Black Book, what he said is right, because I think the prosecutor said that to the jury, consider a sentence that deemed would send a message. That was quotes. That's exactly what the prosecutor said. And, you know, the jury did that.
So how much crime happens in China? You know why crime doesn't happen in China? What about Russia? And what about Israel? You know why it doesn't happen? Because they got strong leaders that don't play games. No. They don't play games with people that all this emotion and all. It's not in it. It's not in it. Everything. Look, let me just say this. When you got strong leaders that's not playing. Look, when you tell your kids, Dad's coming home and he's going to correct this, you better believe everything is going to start to change. Oh, the reason why they use Dad is because Dad is the force. So I want to let y'all know, when you got strong leadership, when you have strong leadership in any community, everything changes. Right now, these people know they're going to get slapped on the wrist.
But strong leadership.
Look, let me tell you something. I come from the trenches of the Bay Area. And when I tell you, most of my family, I love them to death, but they moving. And you know what they say? Oh, I can do this, because I'm telling you, I can lay down for 3 years, but I'll make $2 million. $2 million, I'll come out, I'll be good. They know what's happening. Like, they know how the laws are soft, and they're using it. And everybody, go ahead. I'm sorry.
People do take advantage of that. I think it would be
they take advantage of the soft kind, like little
yo, we gotta do one mic. We gotta do one mic because we can hear y'all. Quick, Kingmaker, and then Steve.
Okay. I 100% agree that, just like with children, I have 3 teenagers myself, that if they think they can get away with something, hell, I think men probably do that. And I think a lot of women would say that that's pretty much accurate in a lot of relationships. If you give them rope, if they think that they can cheat on you, then they'll continue to do it. So that's an example. So I agree with the last part of what you said, but I don't think it's fair at all to say that there is no crime in these places. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard you say. And I mean, we could look at South Korea. Somebody gets executed because they fell asleep while somebody was talking. Yeah, we could do that. That's an option, but that's crazy as absolute fuck. So like, there is layers and degrees of what should be done to help people stay in line. I agree with the concept that if laws are relaxed, then people do not have the same, urgency around changing certain behavior. I 100% agree with that. But there's so much corruption. So, and you were talking about political parties, and I hate to get into conversations like that, but there's so much corruption going on, just like Little Black Book was saying. And I think Quentin said something about it too. Like, you have the wrong judge that slept with the right person, that did this with this person knows this person, they're getting off. There's so many factors involved just to say, well, we should be like Russia and China because there's no crime. That's crazy as hell. Like, there's reason why there is, and I will say this, I'm not like, I wasn't born in this country, and I'm not going to say that we are the greatest country on earth.
Oh, you wasn't born here? Oh,
I was not born here. My point in saying that is that there is a reason that America has become what it is, a reason that people leave the places that they live, because they literally were executing baby girls at birth in China not too freaking long ago. They have limits on how many children. I mean, the kind of shit that you're talking about doesn't just come by itself. It comes with a whole bunch of other shit that we don't want. There's a reason those people leave from their country to come to ours. Not so they can produce crime, but because there's more.
Let's see what she got to say.
Well, yeah,
I do have like.
Well, we'll do Steve first. Hold on, Lisa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stephen Wayne, you see his hand like this.
Okay, so you can always tell who's been punked and bullied as a little kid when you hear a grown-ass man talk about emotions like a grown-ass. And I'm not talking about Black Book, but guys like him, that's why we had the problems, because bitch-made people, not calling them bitch-made, I'm saying bitch-made thinking, talking about all this emotional shit. If we do things like Russia and China, Saudi Arabia, where we have structured men that say, I don't care what you are, this is the law. You break it, this is what's going to happen. No kumbaya. But we don't have that here. We have this, let's have feelings and let's worry about the next guy. And you know the guy that's sitting in the cell, what he's saying? This is great. I just sit and do my time. I go right back out and do the same thing. And guess what? They're going to say, oh, it wasn't, we got to keep him in longer and we got to pray for him and we got to care for him. We need bullies. That's why in the schoolyard, and I'm sure Black Book can understand this, in the schoolyard, when he took your punk ass money and put his finger in your face, he showed you that you are under my thumb. And what you started doing is, as you got older, you want to say, well, every bloody guy has to have bloody feelings and everything.
Stop.
No, I'm saying let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck because listen,
it's 2023.
No,
you get bullied in 2023, you're probably gonna go home and slit your wrist.
No, but I'm just saying is
like these kids they ain't built the same. They're not built
the same. They're not built the same.
Are you really serious? We should run things like Saudi Arabia when women don't have rights and can't be educated and can't drive? Or what are we doing? We want to go back to the dark ages? That's what we're doing?
My girl over here, my girl Litsa talk. She got something to say.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, go ahead. Let me hear what she says. Yeah.
Let me read these super chats and then Litsa can go next, okay? Because before the super chatters get mad. But the misinformed, I'm moving in a new direction. Been pondering doing some videos reviewing some of your older content. Is that cool with you? Are you talking about my older content? Because I've hidden those content. But if you're talking about Anton, you might as well just email him. Next one, Jack Quay. Oh, buddy, look like I wrote with the glasses. Jack Quay. Jesus Christ. Jack Quay Carter. 90% of the Bay is rainbow. Is that true? 1950? I think I've heard that.
Probably.
Before.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You
said you were from there, so you don't know?
Yeah, 90%. That's what I said. Probably. Like, where I'm from, we don't. They got their area. I mean, where we from? Like that. Hey, we don't.
From, we don't lie. Captain Shelmar, respect to Mr. 1950 and Steve the Dean and Jack Quay. Thank you. This for Q. Shout out to Miss Queen Petty. Thank you. Go ahead, Litsa. Your turn, ma'am.
Honestly, I was just listening to what everyone was saying. And, I feel like, a lot of the time, I believe a lot of the times we're really, we like to focus on the problem, but just pretty much a question for like little Black Book 91 and the Kingmaker, in a perfect judicial system, what would be, the best rehabilitation way to, instead of him getting 70 years, let's talk about solutions. Well, what would a perfect solution look like? Because, a lot of the times we're talking about, well, that wasn't fair. Well, that wasn't fair. Well, what would be fair? That's a good question. So
what was fair was not letting him out, was letting him stay on the streets.
What would a perfect...
There's probably 5 pages on the my recommendations for rehabilitating the criminal justice system. If you go to the Global Collective .co, it's there. I have a petition there and everything. So I'm not talking out of the side of my.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think you're talking out of the side.
That's easier said than done. You can't even get a person to shut up when you're trying to speak on a panel. So how do you expect that to work?
Lord have mercy. I mean, I really don't honestly
make the shit up yesterday. There's a lot of focus on the problem instead of the solution. And there's a lot of things that can be changed to make the situation that we are dealing with in this country much better for our people specifically, but for every human being.
Yeah, your service was going in and out. I don't know if you can take your phone off your Wi-Fi.
We need more Passion of the Christ. If you ever seen Passion of the Christ, you just do that one time. You remember Passion of the Christ when they brought old boy and they beat him down real quick in front of everybody?
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about shame later on. And I mean, I definitely get y'all's standpoint on certain stuff, but I think that if we're gonna give this man 70 years, some of these pedos need more than that, I think, in my eyes. But sometimes I don't really believe in reform depending on what they've done. That's how I feel regarding certain stuff, but it is what it is.
So that was my initial thought as well. I mean, I think that, you know, we have to look at the bigger picture. And I think that, you know, the way that we are moving forward, you know, we have to look at the bigger picture. initially, from my emotional side, I thought that 70 years was excessive. But as you add in more context, it becomes more clear. So I don't know if 70 years is justified, but I also agree that we can't keep having repeat offenders just get a slap on the wrist and think that society is going to be okay. And someone, I can't remember who it was, made a great point about the kids today and the fact that they're not built like we were. Who knows what this person's history is, what their parenting situation was and all that. So the fact that we're in a society where consequences are less and less, and we're in a climate where people don't respect the police like they used to, I can understand the police needing to make a statement as well. We need our police officers. They're the people that we call when we have trouble. So we need to establish a respect for them again. So in hindsight, you know, when I'm looking back on my initial thought, it is the feminine side, the women that, you know, we're softer on those things, and you do need people, and men especially, who are going to lay down the law to keep society regulated. And the fact that men are silenced more today and their authority is trying to be taken is the reason why our community and the world is in the weakened state that it is right now, because of the lack of the strong leadership that we used to have.
That was beautiful. Yes.
Anybody else want to, before we go to the next topic, because we are going to talk about shame and all that, but anybody else?
Okay. Can I make my rebuttal to what was said?
Sir, go ahead.
So first of all, I appreciate your demand mindset. I think you just exhibited what I mean by men are emotional. You see, in that moment, when we talk about emotions, it's when we're dealing with, and this is a funny thing, when I talk with men, especially when they're not very well educated in emotions and understand intelligence, they instantly run to the fact that, for instance, your example about a bully. Why does a bully bully? A bully bullies because of emotions. They bully because of fear. No. That's the reason why they bully. If we're talking from a psychological, hold on, pause. If we're talking from a psychological perspective, you was a bully. And that's why I know you will know. You should, if you actually have an emotional intelligence, you should be able to reason with yourself. Ask yourself the key question: what was going on psychologically for you as to what emotion was? I wanted to dominate you.
Dominate.
I wanted to dominate you. To control you. Now,
okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
What might
see? You're still not deep in it because your intelligence is not going there. Why?
Okay, in this world,
go deeper.
So again,
no. Wait, don't jump
in. So let me tell you why. So let me tell you why. Let me tell you exactly why.
Yes, sir. Please.
Where I come from, you either had or you had not. So for me, I'm an alpha. I'm on the top of the food chain. So guess what? Ooh. If you have it, I'm going to take it from you, and you're not going to do nothing about it. And see, that is why you see me as someone who should get to 70 years, because I'm the guy who control guys like you daily. You, I'd have took your bike in the back, I'd have took your glasses and stomped on them, and you wouldn't have done nothing but told everybody at the school what happened. That has nothing to do with, oh, I feel this way. No, like, I wanted your shoes. Give me that jacket. You know what? Oh, thanks for your lunch money. Oh, your woman? I want her too. Do you understand that inside of a man, sometimes we want to dominate, we want to control?
And that's an
emotion too, right?
And that's an emotion.
Yes, it's coming from an emotion. Again, so whilst you're there, can you explain? Whilst you're there, I love that explanation. Can you explain whilst you're there? Can you explain? Can you use your brain to explain the deeper understanding of why you got to that position? If you can't, then at the moment, all you're doing is talking out of pride. And that's an emotion too. So I want you to break it down to me, because you're talking a lot right now, telling me you can take my bike, and that's fine. Take the bike. But what I want you to do is take the brain cells you have and use it to reason and tell us why you actually do what you do. If you can't, then zip it, because you can't explain your behavior.
I triggered that emotion from you. You see how you try to use those words? Yes. Oh, use your brain cells. Oh, think so we can speak away. See, this is how you and I would never be in the same classroom. You know why? Because me and you are on two different ends of the spectrum. Like what you don't know is, and I'm going to enlighten you right now. I'm actually a principal of a school. You don't even know that. 98% black kids. Oh, yeah. Oh. Let me finish this. Got a degree in psychology. Oh, no. Let me tell you why. I graduate 98% of African-American men and women every single year. #1 in California.
Do they think like you?
Look, let me tell you something. When they understand, first of all, this is my personal life. When I'm there, they know who I am. I stand strong. I show them strong leadership. Just because I'm not a guy who sits like this and I talk. No. I show them that it's okay to be masculine. I show women it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be who you are at all times. You don't need to code switch. The reason why I'm going there is because what you did is exactly what a lot of people do, which is judge. You saw me, you see the shades, you see the fitted hat, and you said, you know what? This guy's not educated. This guy can't think for himself. No, I understand what emotion is, but I understand what emotional is also. Being emotional is reacting off of your emotion.
Not the way you're dressed. The things that came out of your mouth.
What came out of my mouth? That was bad.
That I wouldn't want teaching my children anything.
That I was a bully? That I was a bully in school?
Teaching your kids, he helped you.
Well, you're talking about reform. You're talking about reform. I'm the #1 guy who should be teaching these kids. We have 100% lunch program. Do you know what neighborhood I'm in? And the reason why I'm successful is because they can see me and say, you know what? I can do this. The only ones that most people want to cheer is the Obamas. But when they see me, I wear a suit every day. Every single day. Like but I talk like this. And let me tell you something. I also own a security company with 37 guards. So I understand what authority looks like on this end too. So you're talking to an all-around guy who knows exactly what you talk to. I went to San Jose State and graduated. So what I'm saying to you is, sir, is that I got respect for you because I was taught how to respect. When I was younger, I wasn't taught how to respect. I just wasn't. My respect was what everybody else in the neighborhood viewed as respect. When I understood what God brought me, he brought me something different. So what I'm saying to y'all is, you'd be like, oh, I can't believe you're teaching kids. No. Every single one of these kids is probably watching this program right now because they know who I am. And they'll shake my hand, their parents shake my hand, and I send 98% of African-American kids to 4-year state or UC colleges accepted. The highest in California.
That's awesome.
I really appreciate that. So can you still explain the question I asked earlier on? Can you break down why you got to being a bully where you were? Can you explain how you got there? Because psychologically, that's all I was ever asking. What you explained was beautiful. And I appreciate that. Poverty.
Poverty got me to do what I did.